This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by
NordVPN. Get advanced security, internet freedom, and complete privacy. Save 73% off the 2-year plan plus 4 months free with code MMANUTS. Nectar Sleep, the most comfortable bed possible. Save 33% off and get free shipping with code MMANUTS. Drift Air Freshener, the freshest air freshener with no harmful chemicals. Save 15% off with code INGO15. Paleo on the go. Find delicious meals that fit your specific diet. Save $20 off your first 3 orders with code MMA25. Defense Soap. Everyday soaps for everybody. Use code MMANUTS to save 15% off your order.
Hey fans, this is MMA Nuts episode 635.
635.
My name's Ingo Weigel.
Matt Growth, MMA Show, by my fans, for my fans, walk the line between serious and ridiculous. What's happening? He's drinking that straight up water?
Straight up water.
From a glacier?
It's glacial water.
Nice.
From a goat's ass. Dripped off a goat's ass.
Yeah.
It's like those coffee beans that those monkeys eat, right?
And they shit them out. Why would people want that?
I have no idea. People want weird shit.
Yeah, monkey shit, apparently.
Yeah.
That's a hard pass.
Mm-hmm.
Hard pass.
Hey, how about them Bears?
Awesome first half. Their first half team, I think. Worst coaching, worst play calling, and a lot of decisions to be made in the offseason, like drafting another quarterback and starting this process all over again.
Yeah. I think you keep Fields and put him in as a running back. I like this idea better.
Well, I think you do exactly what the Saints did with was that Tyson Hill?
Tyson Hill. Yeah, Tyson Hill.
Make him that guy. He can be your quarterback. He can be your running back. He can be a wide receiver, tight end, anywhere on offense.
Get him on the field to make plays.
Yep.
He looks worried on the sidelines from where I'm sitting.
He sure does.
I don't know. He's like, man, they got this guy in here. And I know he's not been super successful, but I think the offense looks better.
Yeah, he's been good, and then he just happened to be lazy on a few plays, and then they only had 5 turnovers today, 4 holding penalties, and I think there was one point where it was like 6 or 7 penalties on the Bears and 0 on the Saints. I'm like, that's fair. It's like hockey. You call half on one team, half on the other. Like, let's even this shit out. But I guess we're playing for the number 1 pick again. So,
yep,
cool. So
we've been off a couple weeks, so I don't know how far back you want to go on things. What do you want?
Well, I think I want to start with the Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou boxing match.
Yeah.
So first off, when these guys weighed in, it was 277 for Fury, 272 for Ngannou. But even when I'm thinking back to like the pre-fight, I think when they first announced the fight was going to happen, and they showed Tyson Fury took his shirt off to have like the face off, he looked so horribly out of shape at that time, well over 300 pounds. I'm like, oh my God, like what is this guy doing? So to me, it looked like he did not get himself into boxing shape as he should have been. Like, he took this fight lightly, like it's fucking like cakewalk. Yeah. And it was a big speed difference too, but he didn't really use it. Like, Tyson could have peppered the shit out of him, and it almost to me looked like a sparring match again, where guys neither guy was really going for it. Ngannou, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd round, he drops Fury with a left hook.
Yep, that was a good shot. Yeah, I like that one.
And then at some point, Fury landed an elbow on. Like, that was illegal as shit. They didn't take a point away. And then, like, at the end of the fight, Ngannou throws a Superman punch. Like, what are we doing here? But Ngannou was also switching stances a lot, and I guess Fury just said, like, after the fight, and he ends up winning the fight. So Fury wins I think it was like a majority decision, where I'll have to pull up the scorecard. So one guy had it 95-94 Ngannou, 96-93 Fury, 95-94 Fury. So I watched the fight. I gave it 6 rounds to 4 for Ngannou. I thought Ngannou won the fight. I have no inkling in the fight of like who I want to win. I could give a fuck. I'm totally unbiased on this one. I'm like, Ngannou totally won that fight, and
I thought he
you
did
can
too. Yeah.
listen to the crowd, listen to everybody online, you, me, everyone. But boxing is not going to let Ngannou come in here from MMA and win. It's typical boxing of he's the champ. He's not going to fucking lose, and at best we'll give him a draw, which is fucking horseshit because
Yeah, he got robbed, I thought. But conspiracy theory, perhaps they want to run this back. I think maybe they should.
I don't know. I mean, he made a fuck ton of money, but super impressed with his composure. And I think Fury was also expecting Ngannou to come forward a lot and be super aggressive, and he just patience, just waiting, switch stance, but not a lot of output. The only time he really outputted, because after he knocked Fury down, he had about 20, 30 seconds left. I'm like, why aren't you emptying your tank?
Go for it. Yep. Maybe he was afraid he wouldn't have enough gas to make it the whole way,
Yeah, he pushed it in the 8th round. That's when he was landing a lot of shit, and I still don't know how he didn't win that fight. And you got to think too, it's pretty fucking amazing that this is Ngannou's first boxing match, and he takes the heavyweight champion to decision and arguably wins the fight.
It's pretty awesome.
It's fucking unheard of.
Crazy, yeah, totally. I mean, I think he looked way better than I think anyone ever expected him to.
Way better than I thought. Like coming into this, I thought Fury would have just smoked him. Like it shouldn't have even been close. But I think it was the perfect storm. And I think Fury was also saying he felt ring rust because it's been a while since he's been in there. So, like, even after this, do you think Ngannou should go back to MMA or stay in boxing? Like, what do you think the best route is for him now?
Well, what's left for him to do in boxing? He just fought Fury. So where's the money?
Make a lot of fucking money. Like, that's what. Like, he can box all these other guys and probably make 10, 15 a fight.
That's a good point. Okay, so that's one route. It depends what he wants. Like, and I don't know if Dana would ever allow him to come back. I don't think he would. So
no, he won't.
So I don't think UFC makes sense, but he would never go to bare knuckle boxing. I'm just thinking, I don't know. It's hard for me to watch boxing because I feel like it's so freaking biased. There's no, it's like very obvious that it's somebody somewhere has decided something was going to happen a certain way, and that's what they're doing. And they're going to figure out whatever weird ass way to make that happen. That's what's going to happen. And I have a hard time with that. So, but for him, if he's going to make money doing it, I don't think he really gives a shit, right? Does he? So I think he just keeps ringing that bell. Just go ahead.
Sure.
Ski it up, sir. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I stopped watching boxing so many years ago, is just because fucking 20, 30 years ago, because of all the decisions. Like, if it goes to decision, you're getting fucked 9 times out of 10. It's like who they want to win wins, which is unfortunate. So, and then they said the pay-per-view buys came out, and the rumors were that this fight only did 70,000 pay-per-view buys. I mean, it doesn't, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because both guys got paid, and I think this is in Saudi Arabia or somewhere, but they probably paid them a fuck ton of money and covered all the costs. So the pay-per-view really didn't matter. But just in comparison, when you look at this fight compared to like McGregor versus Mayweather, that did 4.3 million. 4.3 million.
Big difference.
70,000, which is insane because this is when you think it's a heavyweight fight, but you also, when you go back to Mayweather Conor, it's arguably one of the biggest stars in boxing versus the biggest star in MMA. So it was huge. And then that was kind of like the first one in a while, not like the first one ever, but the first one of like, oh, what's going to happen? Boxing, MMA, blah, blah, blah. But
right.
So I think that's all I have for that fight.
No, I got nothing else. I'm good there.
All right, let's do the little sponsor action.
Sponsors. We have the Manscaped. Dun, dun, dun,
Thank you.
dun. Dun, 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 dun. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's a bald trimmer sent from space. Gentlemen, our friends over at
Nice.
Manscaped have been working night and day to bring you a below the waist grooming experience like none other with their brand new performance package 5.0. Whoa,
Whoa.
Ultra. They went to a
Yeah.
5. That's
Yeah. We're
aggressive.
gonna go blind.
Crazy. Featuring the Lawnmower
Village.
5.0. We're talking about next generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shave your mind can imagine. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultra Sphere
Whoa.
this year by going to manscaped.com/MMANuts for 20% off and free shipping. High tech for low places. Manscaped.
That's right. And every man knows how scary it can get when going for a close shave below the belt. That's why I trust Manscaped for all my sensitive areas.
That's right. And remember, you can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/MMANuts. It's 20% off, free shipping at manscaped.com/MMANuts. I can promise you've never seen a ball trimmer look like a spaceship. Get yours today from our folks at Manscaped.
Nice. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew. Let's talk about sex, guys. Remember the days when you're always ready to go? Now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in the bed, bedrooms, wherever you want to throw down. Listen up, BlueChew.com.
Blue Chew is a unique online service. Delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but in chewable tablets at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, and it's a simple process. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of the licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription to your front door within days. Days, Matt.
That's what it's all about. And Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. You can discover your options at BlueChew.com. Chew it and do it. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. You can try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code NUTS at checkout. You just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code NUTS to receive your first month free. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the podcast.
Yes, and this episode is also brought to you by Brio Box.
Whoa.
It's like celebrating your birthday 4 times per year. You get a new box of useful quality tech and gadgets delivered every 3 months. Each box includes 4 to 8 products per box, up to a $300 value per box. And it also contains these products up to $300 or more in retail value, free shipping in the contiguous USA.
That's right. And I got a sample box. I'll show you a handful of the products from it. Start with the biggest one. We have this fellow stag pour over cattle.
Whoa, that is really cool.
That's nice.
For your teas.
That's right. Teas and or you want to make like coffee and that fancy coffee maker type thing where you grind the coffee and pour it in. Got this MagPack dual power bank. It's a wireless charger that came in there. The sweet silicone scalp massager.
Okay.
You can do sorts of damage. And there's 3 other things or 4 other things. I'll post a picture of everything that's in there. You'd probably get everything going at the same time. Yeah, so
massage that shit in there.
That's right. You go to briobox.com and
pour the water in from the thing.
That's right. You get everything going on at the same time. Yeah, that's right. You go to briobox.com, use code MMANuts, you get $15 off your order. Just like that. Back to the show. So I heard something happened to Jon Jones. What happened to Jon Jones, Ingo?
He hurt himself. Tore his pec. Yeah.
That's overrated.
Or whatever. Is it the actual pec or the muscle, the connector part? I don't remember.
Yeah,
anyway, some crazy. See, that feels like a month ago now.
I know, right? It was like I think it happened like the day or two after we did the last show. Like, holy fuck.
Yes, Torres, and they called the whole thing off. Stipe's no longer fighting. What are you doing? Tom Aspinall versus who the hell are we doing instead?
Pavlovich.
That's it. So the whole thing is off. They had the video, which I still find strange. That they had the video.
Maybe it was a reenactment.
Yes. They need to have that disclaimer. It's like weird looking people. This is not real. It's a reenactment. But yeah, so he's probably going to be out 6 to 8 months. Sounds like. So not sure what's going to happen there.
Is he gonna go on like that Aaron Rodgers like heel plan or whatever he did, where he's like throwing a ball like 2 months after Achilles tendon surgery?
Well, I
Can Jon
think
Jones get
there's
that?
things he can do. I remember back in the day, Terrell Owens, I think he would play when he was playing on the Cowboys, he blew out his ankle or something. And he like literally came back 2 weeks later and was able to play. It was like a crazy, he's supposedly doing some cryo chamber shit. And all, I'm sure there was a lot of
Yeah,
stuff that was involved to get him back to
sure.
play. So yeah, I mean, maybe. Is he going to still be part of the USADA testing while he does it? I'm not sure.
I don't know. And someone else posted that this is part of the EA UFC 5 curse, because apparently the intro fight is Jon Jones versus Steve Miocic. So now EA UFC 5 has claimed everyone from Adesanya, the Shevchenko, the Volkanovski, the Jones, and Miocic. Every fight they've lost or injury, something bad has happened. So don't be on the cover of any EA fucking game. That's for sure. So yeah, it sucks because like that card is this weekend. We could probably pull that up.
Let's take a look. Is it even look interesting anymore?
UFC 95. It's still kind of interesting, but let's find that. Here it is. UFC 295s. Because then they had to elevate Krajic's or however the fuck you want to say that. I'm just gonna call him Yuri versus Alex Bahia. So that is now the main event. And then you have Vlovich and Aspinall is the interim at 2. Jessica Andrade, Mackenzie Dern. I'm interested in that fight. More on Dern. And then, a couple pie fights. Still waiting. It's kind of like it was the 3 fights. It was that. This one's okay. This one, and then unfortunately it was the Jones versus Miocic, which again, I said, and I think that's why I thought like when Jones fights Miocic, that both those guys are going to retire after the fight, and I think that's why the UFC did not offer Miocic one of these other guys to fight for like an interim belt. Just, and then Dana says, out of respect. Well, because that's the fight you want. You don't want Miocic to lose to one of these guys.
No, that would ruin
and
the
then
whole
he's
thing.
tainted. Yeah. So you gotta just unfortunately have him sit out for another 8-9 months. John is fine. We saw that when he came back. Like he can be out for fucking 5 years and be okay. Miocic probably not so much. So I think this all favors John more. I know it's an injury and he's not going to be training, but I feel like this favors him more than it does Miocic.
When is UFC 300?
Well, this is 295. It's about one a month, so right, April-ish.
Interesting.
I'm just throwing out a guess.
April, May, I would guess. Yeah. Is that in the time frame of him coming back? Because kind of strange.
Nah, I think it's a little too soon. Just a hair too soon.
Yeah.
But allegedly Connor might fight on that one too. You never know.
Yeah. Well, Cormier had a comment I remember reading that he thought it might have had to do with John's, move to heavyweight because he put on so much more muscle and his body wasn't used to it. So that's what caused it. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, he gradually did that and he took 2 to 3 years to build that up. So I don't know. And looking at the footage, it was just such a casual takedown at a Torah. So maybe he might have had like a minor tear in it and then just fucking pop. Because it wasn't like a super aggressive takedown that he popped in. It was just like a casual takedown. Nothing crazy. Yeah. And just
that's it.
And John's always been like 230. So it's not like he put on like that much weight. It's just he didn't have to cut. Fucking DC is the one who had to cut the shit out of like getting down. Like he was a heavyweight, a chubby heavyweight.
Chubby guy. Yep.
Yeah. So what else is going on?
Well, just speaking of injuries, the Zuck posted on the gram. Here he is. He tore his ACL sparring. Zoom in a little bit. He's got out of surgery a couple days ago. looking like he's got to have this large brace on, and then here's the wifey taking care of him. I mean, look at this. This is nice. Like you just
It is.
she's like putting his shoes on and
Wow, she
stuff.
looks like the servant, not the wife. But
Yeah,
anyway,
that is the wife. She's taking good care of him.
I'm going to tell you what this is, Ingo.
What is it?
Fake news. This is fake news. I'm not buying this Zuck shit. Elon Musk was just on Joe Rogan. And he was saying, I'll fucking fight Zuck anywhere, anytime, any rules. And Zuck, he said, this is before this injury came out. He's like, Zuck pulled out of the fight. And then all of a sudden, magically, a few days later, Zuck blows out his ACL, has surgery, can't fucking do anything. Like, this is fucking fake news bullshit. That guy is avoiding Elon Musk. He knows Elon Musk is going to fucking railroad him with his walrus maneuvers. And it's a tough listen because Elon's trying to explain to Joe how he's going to beat him. And Joe's like trying to be respectful, but you're trying to tell an expert in combat sports of how you, with no technique, is going to beat a guy that's been training. And basically, Elon's theory is that I outweigh him by so much that I'm going to beat him, which has merit, but you still need some skill behind it.
He does. I don't think he's training at all, is he?
He claims he's doing some training, a little bit. Mm-hmm. But when they have a date made, when they have a date made, I'll do a little bit more.
Yeah.
But what is he? He says, I think he weighs like 230 though.
This big boy.
Yeah. So if he's 230 and Zuck's probably, I think he's less than that. I think he's like 150, 160. Oh,
Jesus.
So he may have a point, but you still need to have enough skill to be able to finish. Because Elon does have some background, and I forgot what he was saying. I think he's got some karate. There's some sort of a grappling based system that he was into, and then a bunch of street fights also. So it's not like he's done nothing.
He had street fights?
Yeah, a bunch. But he wouldn't go into detail because it sounded like from, I don't know where he was raised. Africa, South Africa, I'm not sure, but wherever it was, basically he had to fight. And
interesting.
Yeah, so
I feel like that might break the internet if those two actually do it.
Yeah, and then he was talking to Joe about having to fight, and he's like, he's cool with having the UFC rules, and I think they wanted to do it in Rome or something, in like the Coliseum.
Oh, that'd be epic.
He said, I'm cool with the UFC rules, but I want to respect the place that we're fighting in. I don't want this to look like fucking NASCAR with the UFC and a million sponsors. I'm like, exactly. Be respectful. You don't need the UFC behind this. This will be the biggest thing without them. And he doesn't give a fuck. Neither of them need the money. He's like, I'm fucking donate whatever he raised to charity. Like, he's the coolest.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited to see it.
So hopefully it'll come to fruition some point. You all right?
I'm fine.
Crack cocaine over.
I'm just keep coughing. Sorry about that. I've been muting it when it's happening.
You got the HIV.
I think I'm dying.
I can send you stuff for that.
Okay.
Let's see what else. Oh, I'm gonna post this. Let me share the screen here. So with that UFC lawsuit, that's gonna probably come to fruition. I think it's gonna either come to trial by April of next year, or more than likely the UFC is going to have to settle, but some things came out of that. So basically what they're saying is, they're talking about Lyoto Machida and saying that Machida basically made $6 million over 4 years of free agency. And saying when he was in the UFC, he basically got 100 to show and 100 to win to defend his UFC title, barring, UFC pay-per-view points. So it kind of goes into details here of his contract, saying Bellator made a promotional agreement offer to Machida for a 24-month, 6-fight contract in which Machida received, among other things, $1 million per fight, win or lose, plus bonuses. So once again, I think I go back to the point of, you kind of go into the UFC to build your own brand,
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get big enough, you leave the fucking UFC and make bank. And that seems to be the case. But now with the lawsuit, do you think that shit's going to have to change? Because I don't see a way that the UFC wins this, either like settling or not. Like they're going to have to pony up.
Yeah, I think you're right. They're definitely going to have to pony up some kind of money. I struggle with I don't know, I was going to bring this up later about
Mm-hmm.
as well. Did you see these revenue numbers for the
Mm-mm.
last, there was a whole this was posted, the financials were revealed because now it's a merger with WWE and a publicly traded
Yeah,
company.
yeah.
So
With
here,
whatever TKO company.
yeah. So you got, can you see that? Okay, I don't know if it's big enough, but
Yep.
so if you look at the numbers, the UFC has, grown substantially from quarter after quarter. I know in the Q1 and Q2 of 2023, it's only just barely over 300 million. But if you look at like where they're trending, um, they've done almost 650 million in revenue across like all these medias. That is a shitload of money. Even, and you look at it in comparison to WWE, they're like right there or doing more,
Yeah.
which I did not expect, right? So if we go back to what you were saying, based on like this kind of stuff, there is so much money there that I find it hard to believe that they're going to be able to not pay people if this continues to progress. Because why are they not paying people? I mean, is that, I don't know where the legal obligation is, but this seems a lot like the music business where they're just raping people. And
Well, yeah,
you
with
know,
like what's the payment? Like it's when you think about typical sports league, it's 50-50, right?
yep.
The UFC is anywhere from 15 to 20% max
Mm-hmm.
in any given year. So there's that 30% window of shit that is going to have to be negotiated. And more than likely, the fighters are going to win that and get back pay and all
You would
sorts of
think so.
crazy shit.
Yep.
And even whatever they have to pay out, the UFC can still fucking afford it. Because remember, when they first sold the company from private to public, they got $4 billion. Like Dana White made 400 million. The Fertitas made a shit ton of money, and then it's all off the back of the fighters. Like,
Right.
and again, it always goes back to like I side with the UFC a little bit because you have to keep fighters hungry enough to continue fighting.
You do.
But there's a level of fairness, and I don't feel like we're anywhere close to that. Because you look at boxing, like fucking Nate Diaz goes over to boxing, makes a shit ton. Connor makes fucking what 50,
Crazy.
100 million. Francis goes over, makes 10, 15 million, whatever. So it's not apples to oranges to like what the UFC pays, and even what you can make. Like look at Lyoto Machida. He's making 100,000 to show and 100,000 to win when he's a fucking champion, and then he
Yeah.
can leave and go to Bellator and make $1 million per fight. So it's like
It's
we're not in the
ridiculous.
same fucking ballpark here. So you
Not
guys,
at
you're
all.
gonna have to pay more. And then I just going back to that, I wonder like what is gonna minimum pay gonna be? Like is that gonna, because I don't even know what we're at now. Are we 12 and 12, 15 and 15?
I
But
think it should be like 50,000 or
yeah,
something. It's like
agree.
the
I think that's where you
absolute.
gotta and get rid of that stupid win show. It's just
Yeah.
I, I make weight, I get paid
Right.
regardless of if I fight or not.
Mm-hmm.
50,000 minimum, and then especially with their like getting rid of their sponsors and cutting all that money out. I don't even know if that got brought up in any of this discussion because they were making bank off the sponsorships,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
you think about this. You got two guys who are fighting, right? And they each have a contract. If they're both on win show, now you don't have to say, you have to pay only, you pay a quarter less, right? Because now one guy has to lose,
Yeah.
so you don't have to pay him his win money. So now you're only paying three-quarters of what you actually should be paying, and it's across all the fighters. So that's, so right there, that's like
It's
if they
another way
fix,
to jack the fighter.
yeah, I mean realistically, and the guys are like, sure, I'll take that, but if you lose, you're fucked. If you lose at 12 and 12, you're gonna make $12,000 to go get your ass kicked.
Yeah.
That seems crazy,
And then
right?
and then this isn't even taking into account taxes, management, training, recovery, supplement. I mean, you go down the board and like, are you even making minimum wage?
No.
I don't think you are. I think, and you probably still need to have a job, plus being a fighter like that. You should be able to focus on what your main thing is. If you're a fighter, that's what you do 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So hopefully this all gets settled within the next 6 months, and everyone will get paid, and and even like some sort of retirement or medical. I don't know, because they're gonna have some fucking like long-term issues. Like NFL players have a lot of issues. These guys are probably gonna have them and much worse. It's just MMA is relatively new. Like UFC's 93 start date, so
Yeah,
it's not like the NFL where we've got a longer run rate. And it's debatable like who's going to have the more CTE, but I would say it's going to be MMA combat sports versus
you'd think there'd be quite a bit of
NFL.
it, yeah.
So good times, not good times, not so sure.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Well, another thing too, this happened, I think, right after the day we posted our last show. I forgot to mention this just now, is the UFC had that deal with Bud Light for $100 million. They just signed. Budweiser, I should say, not Bud Light. Budweiser. I think of Bud Light every time. When I think of Budweiser, I think of Bud Light. But anyways.
Why? You gotta go back to the cool commercials.
So they're raking in the dough. That's crazy. What else is going on? I read this interview with Alistair Overeem, and if you recall,
yes,
he had quite the transformation.
I thought you were gonna say the transition. He's transitioning.
Quite the transitory man he is here. What the fuck?
Okay. Yeah, he's transitioning to a regular human.
He has become a they. So here he is, and this is from the summer. His big,
so
big
man.
difference. He said basically that he is now a light heavyweight. He didn't see the point once he made the decision to stop fighting. He's like, you got to eat more because you're training hard and you need to stay big to fight. So now he's eating less, and he's basically switched to an all raw vegan diet, and that is how he's maintained this newfound lean physique that he's undergone. So I guess you don't think about that. Like when I was reading that, I'm like, that is something interesting, because I'm sure some of these bigger athletes like him and other NFLers, there is a maintenance in just eating the food, not just working out and everything. Sure. You have to eat the calories to stay that large, right? So it's like, that's different. And he's focusing on longevity. He's saying he's trying to get lean and just live a long, healthy life. So I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense, but when he was floating around probably 275, and now he said he's like 210, 220, probably closer to 210. Just hurts my feelings. He can't be that. You're Overeem. You can't be 210. Be like 235. 235 works for me.
I like that. 210 is it's a little light.
It is. I'm gonna show this. I like to see cool places that people fight. So it says last week they set up fights in the Cactus Mountains somewhere looks like St. Petersburg, but take a look at that backdrop. Huh. Like that's cool as shit, man.
It's pretty cool. And there's just like fighting right there, and people are just standing around.
Yeah, there's no like ring. It's just here we are. Let's throw it down.
That is crazy, but whatever.
Yeah. And I saw they decided to put Hezbollah in UFC 5. Is he going to take the next loss here?
Oh, you got the video. Sweet. Have you played this yet?
No, I refuse.
Yeah.
And there he is. Looking very threatening. I don't like it.
That is pretty cool.
He's threatening me. What else is happening out there?
Well, here you go. There's some crazy fighting I found in the weird category. I can't share the sound because it got strange. But here they are. Little sword fighting action.
Nice.
FMS Fight Night 2. And I don't know, like kudos to this ref for standing in here like with no protection. I'm not really sure what
That's concerning because just having a bow staff, I don't know, swords get swung, heads get
like
chopped
doing
off.
a little. I mean, like, how do you finish this? I guess is mine. Maybe you can't, but I worry about the ref safety stuff
Yeah,
going on.
you need at least some kind of, because fucking hockey the other day, like a former NHL player from last year got like kicked in the neck, sliced his throat, and he ended up dying.
Yeah.
So, and then now that's forcing some of the hockey players to wear neck guards, and I think one league just said it's mandatory, you got to wear a fucking neck guard. But yeah, you don't want to be that ref. Just my bow staff will protect me. Well, you're not a fucking teenage ninja turtle. Fucking
Well, what if a piece of that one of those things busts off? Like,
yeah. How
you have
about your
no.
eyes? You want a little eye protection there too,
Yeah,
shooter?
something. I would at least wear the helmet. You know.
Fuck yeah, something. Shooter McGavin.
Mm-hmm.
Just going for it. And then I saw like the weirdest stoppage to a fight that I've ever seen. I thought I've seen everything.
Okay.
And I'm not going to share the video, but I'll just show it. So basically you can see this is a super bloody fight. They I think it was Jason Herzog. He stopped the fight and said this is a no contest because the surface was deemed unsafe.
Because it was so slippery.
Yeah, from all the blood. Both guys were cut pretty profusely and just pouring out, and it just slippery mess. But I've never seen that. I've never seen a ref call it off. Usually it's just like fucking go. Fucking go. Local MMA, just fucking go. You guys are getting second, third degree burns in your fight. Just fucking go. Just fucking fight. We don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I didn't know that was a thing you could stop a fight for and rule a no contest.
Yeah.
So weird. Tweet of the week.
Okay, I'm ready.
We got like 3 or 4. We're gonna start with a little Just P. He says, "That's how I can't do the accent right now. That's how I like it. Medium rear with salt. How about you? This guy's all about the medium rears."
I love it.
And the funny thing was that reminded me of a story like back when I was in the corporate world. The lady in HR sent out an email to the entire company, and she was talking about your paychecks, and she said she meant to say that your pay is going to be in arrears, but she said it's going to be in the rears. What? You can't say that. She had to like, but I mean, it went out to like hundreds and hundreds of people. I fucking went right into her office. I'm like, do you know what you just said? Like, you got, I'm not taking my pay in the rears, lady.
You're gonna like it. That's
Yeah,
what's
no,
that's
not
gonna
so
go.
much.
You're gonna take it and like it.
Yeah, and so that was one, and then this one, this person said, "I'm never asking a man to buy me tampons again." He says, "So help me out. I'm a bit at a loss here. Are you planning on hitting sport mode today? Or are you more a secret agent vibe on her fucking tampons?"
Wow, that's pretty epic.
2 for 2. Yeah, the last one. Oh, I thought I had one more before this.
I have a Graham video if you want to see something.
Oh, I've got 2. So as we were talking about the Bud Lights. So to shed gay beer image, Bud Light partners with sport where sweaty men in underwear hug for 25 minutes. And there you go. UFC Bud Light with pants without.
I love it.
Go ahead. What do you got?
Here we have Sean O'Malley
Yes.
dancing at a special needs community, entertaining the fans. There he is. I don't know what he's doing there, but he's there promoting some fights, I guess.
Good for him.
This guy gets it. He's like,
He's doing God's work.
My hair matches your shirt, man. So pretty good. This dude's flexing over here. He's got all the tattoos. He's ready.
Whoa.
I think that might also be another fighter. Anyways, but they're getting down.
Well, that's his coach, yeah. Good for him.
He's living his best life.
He's a man of the people. Do a little KO of the week.
Let's see it. I'm ready.
I got 2. Oh shit, this guy already got jacked. Didn't even get a chance to fucking dial in here. I'm gonna turn the sound off. I feel like this guy got put on Queer Street.
Oh damn. Oh damn.
Like he got shot. Can we get a replay?
It's like drunken
Yeah.
KO.
Ugh. Face down, ass up. Something or something. And then there's one more. Counter KO. Because I always feel like sometimes it's better to go backwards in a fight. Because you can catch the guy coming in. But it's like, oof.
Oh, nasty.
Oof.
Nasty.
He got buckled. Oh shit, he's convulsing. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. I'll turn it off. What else is happening?
I wanted to get your take on this clinch training, and you tell me if I don't want to. I can't share sound because it's the gram, and there's no way to control it.
Yeah.
So here he is. He's out in the woods. This is
oh shit, we're in Russia.
At first, I thought this was fake. Like this is not.
No,
a real
these
bear,
motherfuckers will wrestle bears.
It's actually an actual bear that he's like throwing around with underhooks and shit.
And he doesn't even have a muzzle on. Bears can turn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking that there's all levels of crazy on. Like, I don't. I mean,
and what if that bear is horny and just wants to fuck?
It's good.
That's a problem.
You think the bear likes this?
Yeah, he hasn't bitten you yet.
I mean, he's got.
I think if he bites you,
he's got the claws and everything, and the mouth, and I'm like, dude, have you not seen The Revenant? Like that shit could go bad.
I have not seen The Revenant.
That is a great movie. You should watch that. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
is it a 3-hour movie?
Yeah, Leo DiCaprio.
That's why I held out.
I think Scorsese made that
3
one.
hours.
Maybe not, but it was really good. It's slow in some parts, but if you like get zoned in and you actually feel what he's going through, you're like, holy fuck, that's the bear fighting him scene is really scary because you can like picture that shit happening, like
for sure. Even those tame bears, they turn. I've seen videos.
So
let's do a little ass to nuts. So Michael Bisping, someone had asked him which opponent had the hardest punch and the hardest kick. So who do you think he said for those?
Dan Henderson.
You fucking ain't right. He had the hardest punch.
Yeah.
Is he got throated by him too? That's not a porn reference.
Hardest kick?
Yeah.
Lyoto. Did he fight Lyoto Machida? No.
Yeah, Anderson Silva.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not super surprising, but fucking for sure, Dan Anderson.
Jesus Christ. I mean, you can, even if you don't think so, you have to say that.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because he almost KO'd him the second time too.
Yeah.
And then here's a cool one. So Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is going to make a King of Violence belt, and they're asking people which belt do you want to see as the one they award between Mike Perry and Eddie Alvarez. So A, B, or C, which one do you like the best? I guess you can rank them in order too, 1, 2, or 3.
I don't know. I like C probably as the best one, but B is a close second for me. I don't like A.
Gotcha.
How do you rank them?
I go B as 1, A, and then C, and then I think they had results. So 58% with B, 20, we'll just call it 30 for C, and 12% for A. Either way, they're pretty fucking dope as far as belts.
I think all of them are cool. I
ain't gonna be disappointed getting any of those.
No.
So
pretty awesome.
What else you got before I've got like MMA fighter Halloween costumes and then
nothing else.
Local knowledge. Okay.
Nothing else. I'm good.
So let me open all these. I got I think 5 different Halloween costumes, but you know how they do it. This is like a Halloween tradition for us. Yes. You always got to pull out.
It's no longer Brocktober. So sad.
I know, it's unfortunate. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so first we start with Dustin Poirier and his family. They're doing the fucking Addams
That's
Family.
actually pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
And then we move into this lady who's doing her Day of the Dead. I forgot her name, but it's right there. Nick Dolly.
I like it.
And we go to Valerie Loretta. She's doing her
I noticed you zoomed in.
angel
Yeah,
action.
that's a good one. I like it. She looks very
Right into a little Pearl Gonzalez doing a little scream.
That's a contrast right there.
Right?
What happened?
And Kay Hansen has a little montage.
Ooh, there's a video and everything.
Yep.
She just has all the outfits.
Yeah. She's like putting them all together.
Nice.
I like the last one. She does a little Chucky. That one looks dope as shit.
That is pretty cool. I like the little officer outfit. That's a good one.
She's you better respect her authority, Ingo.
That's right. Always.
As Cartman would say. You make knowledge.
I think we were talking about before the show. Just
yeah.
I took my 10-year-old to see Queen a couple days ago, and she's a huge fan. Wasn't sure what was going to happen with the, Adam Lambert. I know he's been singing with them a while, but he is no Freddie Mercury. He's not trying to be Freddie Mercury. He's unapologetically not trying to do that. He was very flamboyant, but it was
I was
actually
gonna say he's on the same team, right?
Yeah, but here's the thing though, like if you go there with the mindset of like this is supposed to be entertainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was entertaining, and the music was good. He could hit the notes. I think Freddie had something very special. Like with the way he sang was had a different tone to it, and I don't think you could. So Adam can hit the note. It's just it was a little more poppy and less. It felt, at times
like rocky.
Yeah, because I felt like Freddie, you felt it, and Adam, you're just like, yeah, that's impressive that you can do that thing. But he was just, and they had fucking fireworks coming out of guitars. It was like a crazy laser light show, and it was pretty epic, and it felt cool. Like it was a rock show.
And how old are those guys?
76,
Jesus
77,
Christ.
I think, still rocking it out.
It's insane, dude. I'm fucking. I just turned 50, and I'm like tired. I couldn't imagine. Like, well, I guess I could, because those guys are probably on all sorts of fucking, you name it.
They look
treatments,
healthy.
Drugs, training, nutrition. Probably you gotta be in shape, man.
Yeah.
So I get it. That's fucking cool. Like I said, I told you I'm going to see that U2 at the Sphere next month, so
I'm excited to hear about that.
Have to report, and I'll have to take a little bit of video to show off what that looks like. I got a little knowledge. So Jason Voorhees is on Twitter.
What?
He's welcoming you to Crystal Lake.
Ooh.
So saw that.
That's near us, isn't it?
Yeah, actually it's. And then there's a drone show for Halloween in Dubai.
Oh, whoa.
Look at this shit.
I heard about these. Yeah, they're like just all flying in tandem, right?
That's so crazy. Yeah, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands. So you had that, and I don't know what the last one is. Oh, okay. I never know what I've pulled up in here. So I guess you can use VR to play Call of Duty Zombies in your own house now.
Whoa.
So imagine you have the VR set on. I don't know how you're gonna not break everything in your house, because I imagine I'm gonna be moving around and swiveling and shit.
Oh,
swinging a baseball bat.
It's alternate reality. This is a new thing where you mix fake with real. So like the furniture is the real furniture. So you have like a view of the fake overimposed on the real, and I think it's really crazy that they can do this, and you can have this in your house at this point. So this just tells me that there's technology out there that's so expensive that it blows this away, but they just haven't figured out how to market it. Get the price down. It's crazy,
for sure. Like that looks cool. I'd be freaked out. I'd play it.
I think you would.
And on that note, let's shut down. It says, oh, I didn't change my clock back. I'm like, why does my clock say midnight? Like, it's not midnight.
Because it is midnight.
It is, but it is.
Yes, yesterday it was.
Yesterday it was.
Today
that's why I'm tired, but not.
Yes.
Anyway.
All right. That has been another edition of MMA Nuts. My name's Nico Wyko.
Matt Griffith, thanks for playing.